The year is 1914. Europe is a powder keg just waiting to explode. And then it does. Archduke Franz Ferdinand has met his demise in Sarajevo. But how did the assassination of this one royal couple ignite the First World War? What was so special about this event that caused the entire continent to go to war? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. Prior to 1914, there had been a lot of tension building in Europe. There were two main alliances, the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance, and each side had been heavily investing in their militaries. There was a general feeling of mistrust between the countries, and when it came to foreign policy, it was every nation for itself. That is how the European powers operated. But then the assassination happened, and it caught everyone off guard. Even though the motive was nationalist and the deed was done by a Serbian, it was the Austrians who were the first to declare war on Serbia. Why? Because Austria was in a military alliance with Germany, and they were both tied to the larger conflict in the Balkans. Russia felt compelled to defend Serbia because of their shared Slavic identity. And France and Britain were automatically brought into the conflict because of their own entangling alliances. In short, the assassination acted as a catalyst that turned potential into actual war. But why? Why was everyone so ready to go to war at a moment's notice? Well, to answer that question, let's look at the years leading up to the war. Since the Congress of Vienna, Europe had been on a pretty consistent path towards peace. Sure, there were some conflicts here and there, but for the most part, the continent was not interested in another large-scale war. However, that all changed in the early 20th century when things started heating up. First of all, there was a new weapon in town, and it was deadly. New technologies like machine guns, poison gas, and tanks made it so that any war would be much more deadly than the last. So, if you're going to go to war, you might as well go with everything you've got. That's the logic anyway. Second, there was a growing sense of nationalism across the continent. People began to identify more with their nation than with any other political entity, and this led to a lot of competition between countries. Third, there was the issue of imperialism. As European powers scrambled to acquire colonies around the world, tensions began to rise. Finally, there was the arms race. As each country built up its military, the others felt compelled to do the same, and this created a climate of fear and suspicion. So when the assassination happened, it didn't take much to push the powers over the edge. They were already primed for war. All the assassination did was provide the spark that ignited the powder keg. Do you think the war could have been avoided? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.